Hey everyone, welcome back to English Connect.
Hi there. We're so glad you're here with us today.
I'm your host, Sophia.
And I'm Jason. This is your space to practice real, everyday English in a relaxed and friendly way.
If you're enjoying our podcast, please hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more learners like you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your support.
So, Sophia, what are we talking about today?
Today's topic is something we all experience every single week, weekends. We're going to share what we did last weekend, talk about how we like to spend our free time, and discuss different ways people relax and recharge.
That sounds great. Everyone has their own weekend style.
Exactly. And just so everyone knows how we've organized today's episode, we'll start with a natural conversation about our weekends. Then we'll break down 5 key vocabulary words and phrases that came up in our discussion. And finally, we'll wrap up with a fun challenge for all of you.
Perfect. So, if you're ready to hear about our weekend adventures, let's get started.
So, Jason, I have to ask, how was your weekend?
Oh, it was really nice, actually. Pretty relaxing. I didn't do anything too crazy.
Sometimes those are the best weekends. What did you do?
Well, on Saturday morning, I slept in until about 10:30, which felt amazing. I've been so busy with work lately that I really needed that extra sleep.
I'm jealous. I can never sleep in, even when I try. My body just wakes me up at 7 no matter what.
Really? Even on weekends?
Yeah, it's frustrating sometimes. I'd love to have a lazy morning, but my internal clock won't let me.
That's tough. Well, after I finally got up, I made myself breakfast and then spent a couple hours reading a book I've been trying to finish.
What book are you reading?
It's a mystery novel. I'm horrible at guessing the ending, though. I'm always wrong about who did it.
That's the fun part, though. I love trying to solve it before the last chapter. Did you finish it?
Not yet. I got through about 50 pages. What about you? What did you get up to this weekend?
My weekend was busier than usual. On Saturday, I met up with some friends for brunch at this new place downtown.
Oh, nice. How was the food?
It was delicious. They make these amazing avocado toasts and really good smoothie bowls. We ended up staying there for almost 2 hours just chatting.
2 hours? That's a long brunch. What were you all talking about?
Everything, really. Work drama, relationships, vacation plans. You know how it is when you're with good friends. Time just disappears.
It really does. Those are the best conversations. What did you do after that?
Well, I had planned to go to the gym, but honestly, I was so full from brunch that I just went home and took a nap instead.
Hey, sometimes you need a good nap. Nothing wrong with that.
That's what I told myself. Then in the evening, I went to my cousin's birthday party. It was at a karaoke bar.
Karaoke? Did you sing?
I did, and I was terrible. I tried to sing a Beyoncé song, which...
That sounds beautiful. Was it crowded?
Not too bad. I got there around 8 in the morning, so most people weren't out yet. And the weather was perfect. Sunny, but not hot.
I love when the weather cooperates. Sunday really was gorgeous, wasn't it?
It was. What did you do on Sunday?
I had a much quieter day. I spent the morning cleaning my apartment, which sounds boring, but actually felt really good.
I totally understand that. There's something satisfying about having a clean, organized space.
Right? It makes me feel like I have my life together. Then in the afternoon, I video called my parents. They live in another city, so we try to talk every weekend.
That's sweet that you stay in touch regularly. How are they doing?
They're great. My dad spent the whole call telling me about their vegetable garden. They're growing tomatoes and peppers this summer.
Nice. My parents can't keep plants alive to save their lives.
Neither can I, honestly. I tried growing herbs in my kitchen once, and they all died within a month.
What happened to them?
I think I either watered them too much or forgot to water them completely. I can't even remember now, which probably explains everything.
Fair enough. Plants aren't for everyone. Did you do anything else on Sunday?
Yeah, I did some meal prep for the week. I cooked a big batch of chicken and vegetables that I can have for lunch.
Oh, wow. You're one of those organized meal prep people.
I try to be. It makes my weekdays so much easier. I don't have to think about what to eat. Do you meal prep?
Not really. I just kind of figure it out day by day. But I probably should start because I order takeout way too often.
It definitely saves money and time. Although, I'll admit, sometimes I still order food even when I have meals prepared.
We all do that. So overall, how do you feel about your weekend?
I feel good. It was a nice mix of socializing and relaxing. What about you?
Same. I feel refreshed and ready for the week. Although I always get a little sad on Sunday evening when I realize the weekend is over.
The Sunday scaries.
Exactly. Do you get those too?
Sometimes, yeah. Especially if I know I have a really busy week ahead. I start thinking about everything I need to do and I get a bit anxious.
What do you do when that happens?
I usually make a to-do list. Writing everything down helps me feel more in control. And I always try to plan something fun during the week to look forward to.
Like what?
Maybe coffee with a friend on Wednesday, or treating myself to a nice dinner on Tuesday. Little things that break up the weekday.
That's smart. I should do that more.
It really helps. You know, it's interesting how differently people spend their weekends.
What do you mean?
Well, some people use weekends to be super productive and get a million things done. Other people use them to completely unplug and just rest.
True. I have a friend who goes hiking every single weekend, rain or shine.
Really? Every weekend?
Yep, she's very outdoorsy. But then I have other friends who spend the entire weekend watching TV series.
And both are totally valid. Whatever makes you happy, right?
Absolutely. I think the important thing is doing what feels right for you, not what you think you're supposed to be doing.
I agree. There's this pressure sometimes to make your weekend look exciting on social media, you know?
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean. You see everyone posting photos of their adventures, and you feel bad for just staying home and relaxing.
But staying home can be exactly what you need. There's nothing wrong with a quiet, restful weekend.
Exactly. Rest is important too. Your body and mind need time to recharge.
Well said. Do you have any weekend traditions or routines?
I always try to go for a run on Saturday morning. It's become a habit. What about you?
Sunday night, I always take a bath and read a book. It's my way of transitioning from the weekend to the work week.
That sounds really relaxing. I should try that.
You should. Self-care is so important. Speaking of which, do you plan your weekends in advance, or do you just see what happens?
I'm more spontaneous. I might have one thing planned, but I like to leave the rest open. What about you?
I'm more of a planner. I feel anxious if I don't know what I'm doing, but I will say some of my favorite weekends have been the unplanned ones.
Those spontaneous moments are usually the most memorable. Like last month, a friend texted me Saturday afternoon asking if I wanted to go to the beach, and we just went.
That sounds amazing. Did you have fun?
We had a great time. We stayed until sunset, got ice cream, talked for hours. It was one of the best days.
See? That's the beauty of weekends. They're full of possibilities.
They really are. Even though it's only 2 days, weekends can feel like a mini vacation if you make the most of them.
So true. All right, I think we've covered our weekends pretty well.
I think so too.
All right, everyone, let's take a moment to go over some key vocabulary that came up in our conversation. We're going to explain 5 useful words and phrases that you can use when talking about weekends.
Yes, and remember, you don't need to memorize all of these today. Just pick 1 or 2 that seem useful to you and try to use them in your own conversations.
First phrase, sleep in. Jason, you mentioned you slept in on Saturday morning.
Right. To sleep in means to wake up later than usual, especially later than you wake up on weekdays. It's what most people love doing on weekends when they don't have to set an alarm.
Exactly. For example, I'm exhausted this week. I can't wait to sleep in on Saturday. Or, I love weekends because I can sleep in.
It's one of the simple pleasures of having days off. Next phrase, meet up with. Sophia, you said you met up with friends.
Yes, to meet up with someone means to arrange to see someone, usually in a casual, social way. It's less formal than just saying meet.
Right, you wouldn't say, I met with my friends for coffee. That sounds like a business meeting. You'd say, I met up with my friends for coffee.
Perfect example. Let's meet up this weekend. Or I'm meeting up with my sister tomorrow for lunch.
Exactly. Third phrase, catch up on.
I used this when Jason was talking about reading. To catch up on something means to do something you haven't had time to do, or to bring yourself up to date with something.
Right, you can catch up on work, catch up on sleep, catch up on your favorite TV show, catch up on emails. It means you're finally getting around to something that's been waiting.
For example, I spent the whole weekend catching up on Netflix. Or, I need to catch up on my reading for class.
Good examples. Next expression, the Sunday scaries.
This is a fun, informal phrase. The Sunday scaries describe that feeling of anxiety you get on Sunday evening when you realize the weekend is ending and Monday is coming.
It's that, oh no, I have to go back to work tomorrow feeling. A lot of people experience this, especially if they have a stressful job or school situation.
Right. I always get the Sunday scaries around 6 p.m. Or the Sunday scaries. Well, Jason, I think we covered a lot today. We talked about our weekends, shared some stories, and learned some useful vocabulary.
We did. This conversation is making me look forward to next weekend already.
Me too. Before we finish, let's give our listeners a challenge for this week.
Yes. So here's your challenge, everyone. We want you to write a comment and tell us about your last weekend. Or if you prefer, tell us about your ideal weekend.
Try to use at least one of the vocabulary words we taught today. Sleep in, meet up with, catch up on, the Sunday scaries, or recharge.
For example, you could write, last weekend I slept in until noon and then met up with my best friend for lunch. Or, my ideal weekend is one where I can recharge and catch up on my favorite shows.
We read every single comment, and we love hearing from you. It's great practice for your writing, and it helps us understand what you're interested in.
And if you want to challenge yourself even more, try to write 2 or 3 sentences. Tell us what you did, who you spent time with, or how you felt.
Also, if you have ideas for future episodes, let us know in the comments. What topics do you want us to discuss? Hobbies, food, technology, daily routines?
We're here to help you practice English in a natural, conversational way, so your feedback really matters to us.
Before we say goodbye, please remember to subscribe to English Connect if you haven't already. It helps us so much, and you'll get notified whenever we upload a new episode.
And if you found this episode helpful, give it a like and share it with a friend who's also learning English. Learning together is more fun.
That's so true. You know, learning English is like a weekend. It's all about finding what works for you and enjoying the process.
I love that comparison. And just like weekends, some days will be more productive than others, and that's perfectly okay.
Be patient with yourself, celebrate your progress, and remember that every conversation is practice, even if you make mistakes.
Mistakes are how we learn. Don't be afraid to speak English in real situations, even if it feels uncomfortable at first.
All right, everyone, that's all for today. Thank you so much for spending this time with us.
Keep practicing, keep learning, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Until next time, happy learning.
And enjoy your weekends, whether they're busy and exciting or quiet and relaxing.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.